A change of pace this morning. Believe me, we've had trouble getting our guest on, but good to have you again. CrossFit Candor brings Lance to us every Thursday. This place will change your life if you let it. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Gary. How you doing?
Doing well. A lot to cover this morning as we get ready for the stretch run, and let's start with the Braves because I had said I thought this race would tighten up. And, the Nationals did their part. They really have played good baseball the last month and a half or so, but the Braves have just been outstanding. And as we speak this morning, the Braves have a 9.5 game lead. Their magic number's down to 8. They've got 91 wins with 15 games to go. So if they go 9-6, they get to 100 wins. I mean, not only is this Braves team going to win the division, but, the standard, 100-win teams are rare. Are you surprised that the Braves have pulled away the way they have and now are in position only 3 wins behind the Dodgers for the best record in the National League at this point?
Well, I mean, surprise might be, I guess, an overstatement because we knew they were good, but like you said, 100 wins, that's a plateau that a lot of teams don't get to, which we might even see 4 of those this year with the Dodgers, Astros, and Yankees. But their biggest thing is, man, now how they constructed their team, and we talked about it when the bullpens first, all that, they needed bullpen help, but they went and got it. Well, it looked like, that backfired, but now it's starting to get better. Keuchel's pitching very, very well. I thought it was a great addition. But just the bats have just continued to production has been great. Josh Donaldson started off really slow, but he's been a guy that you can count on now in the middle of the order, like the MVP guy he was. But since August 11th, 22-6. I mean, that's how you run away with the division. You get teams get a little bit closer. They sniff around like, all right, we're going to hang around this, and then the Braves roll off 22 victories in 28 games. I mean, that absolutely slams the door, and it shows that they're going to do it. They're playing 619 baseball winning percentage, so statistic-wise, it would say, yeah, they win 100 games because you're going to win 9 of these next 15, and so I do think they're able to do it because it's the Phillies. The Phillies are probably going to, they know they're 15 back, probably not. They don't have a shot in the wild card as well either. So they're looking at probably at the end of the season, you're going to bring some young guys, maybe give some guys a shot, not, rest some guys. And so what's their mindset if, at the end of this when the Braves go to Philly, what are their mindset when they play? Then you have a couple games against the Giants out of it, the Royals, one of the, worst teams in all of the league. So that's where you're looking at. So the schedule sets up. Shoot, they might even go 11-4 and run away with that. Like you said, try to get the best record in baseball. So I think they've just developed, and the team has gotten better throughout the year, and that's what you want to do.
Indeed. So the Braves are going to win the NL East. Dodgers have locked up the NL West. The Yankees are going to win the AL East. The Astros are going to win the AL West. And really the only races to be decided are the Central Division races in both leagues. The Twins have a 4-game lead on the Indians, and the Cardinals have a 4-game lead on the Brewers and the Cubs. So even there, I mean, those aren't huge leads, but it's going to be tough for anybody to catch the Twins or the Cardinals. So it looks like we're really battling it out for the wild cards here. Let's start with the National League. Who do you like in the wild card situation there?
Well, I mean, I like the Cubs. The Brewers, I like that division. So when you're thinking of St. Louis and, the Cubs in Milwaukee, all those right around there. St. Louis obviously got the division right now. But with Milwaukee losing Christian Yelich out for the year with that knee injury, fouled a ball off his knee, that's huge. I mean, you're taking the heart of your lineup and just basically gutting it right there, taking him out of that. I mean, an MVP guy. So to me, that's how do you keep that mindset? I guess I thought the Phillies were farther back. They're only 2 back in the second part of the wild card. So they still have a lot to play. Mets still have a lot to play. So those will be big series. But I look at it being a Washington and a Chicago Cubs playoff, that 1-game playoff. And that could match up a John Lester versus Max Scherzer, which would be fun to watch, too.
Yeah, it would.
Unbelievable postseason pitchers.
Okay, so you like, obviously, Washington's in good shape. You like the Cubs to beat out the Brewers for that final spot. Of course, Brewers and Cubs not going to give up on winning the division. Let's play out this scenario. Let's say the Cubs don't get in. Let's say the Cardinals win the division, the Brewers get the wild card, and the Cubs are out of the postseason. Does Joe Madden come back next year?
Boy, that's a tough question. I think he does, but I don't know, man. Like those big cities, they want to win, And the Cubs were built to win. They were built to win this year. Last year they had a lot of injuries, especially after their World Series title. They've been built to win with the young guys like Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, all those guys. A lot of this stuff has happened on the mound where they go after that big free agent pitcher and it's like a swing and a miss. So, I don't know how much of that is put on Joe Madden, but that, the manager always becomes the fall guy when things don't work out. So I hate to see that happen. I believe he's a very good manager. To me, he was my favorite guy to ever play for. Loves every single one of his players and will do anything he can for them. One of the best guys in a clubhouse to keep it loose, which when you're talking about being with the same guys for 8 months every single day outside of about 22 days from February 15th to the end of September, that's a lot of time spent. That is truly your family. You're seeing them way more than you're seeing your family. So he's a great guy to keep it loose. I promise you, if the Cubs let him go, he will not sit very long without a job. Somebody will pick him up. So I think he does stay in Chicago.
Lance Cormier, presented each week by CrossFit Canner, talking baseball. In the American League, you've got the Indians with 86 wins, the A's with 86 wins, the Rays with 87 wins. You're going to have a pretty good club not make the postseason. Those are three good teams that have racked up a lot of wins. Only room for two wild card teams. One of them's not going to make it.
Yeah, that's the race to watch. I mean, you got three teams within all separated between one game. That's going to be fun down the stretch. I don't know whose schedule sets up nicer for them, but man, you're right. You could have some team. You could have a team with 93, 94 wins not make it. I mean, these teams are playing good baseball. You look at their last 10, 8-2, 7-3, 7-3, and that's why Tampa Bay has that half-game lead. They're the team that's 8-2. They keep playing that type of baseball. There's going to be one team with 94 wins that won't make the playoffs, and that is I've never seen that. I mean, that's something you think, especially with the two wild card era. You're like, all right, 94. Yeah, we're probably winning the division, but we're definitely making the playoffs, and you'd be at home. That would be very, very tough to swallow.
Yeah, I tell you, it's going to be fun these last couple of weeks. No doubt about that. You mentioned Yelich already. Some good news, though, Lance, is he's not going to need surgery, they're saying. So, rehab time or recovery time looks like it's 8, 10, 12 weeks instead of what could have been, an entire off season. So he's done for this year, but at least he'll be ready to go in spring training. So that's good news for the Brewers because he's arguably the best player in the game, or he's right up there in the conversation for sure with Trout and Acuna Jr. and some others.
Yeah, and that is really good news, like you said, just because it doesn't affect his offseason. Yeah, bad news, you don't want him to miss time right now, especially for a postseason push, and if they were able to get into it, that's a totally different lineup without him. So they probably wouldn't be looking to go very far in the postseason. But the fact that it doesn't affect the off-season training and all that, and knowing he'd be healthy to go into spring training, that's a very good sign for their organization and for Yelich himself.
You played for this organization, so and they've got a good staff, and they got a good team. It just so happens that Yankees got 95 wins, Rays got 87. But how many people do you think would be aware that it's Tampa Bay that has the lowest team ERA in the American League at 3.63? They really do fly under the radar, don't they?
Yeah, as good as anybody can as well, and that's how they like it. Outside of you want to get the credit, you want to get all that stuff, but when no one's looking, okay, hey, well, it used to be, hey, you knew where Tampa Bay was in the schedule because you knew you could just pound them. Now, they're just kind of, hey, ho-hum there, and wait up, they just took the series, and it's not like it's a Flashy's taking the series. They're going to win the games 4-2, 3-1. All of a sudden, you're like, man, I felt like we were going to win that series, but they won. Okay, they won 2 out of 3, and all of a sudden you look up, they won 2 out of 3 the whole year. That's how they play ball, and I would say not many people would because not many people go to their games, so they don't know how good they are. And that's what's tough is you have clubs that good, and that all started with Joe Madden in 2008, changed that name from Tampa Bay Devil Rays to Tampa Bay Rays, made a new look, and man, from then on out, it's been a very good ball club outside of a couple years where they've had some down years, but man, the front office when Friedman was there, I mean, it became the analytical place to go, and absolutely loved my 2 years there. That's my 2 favorite years of my career were in Tampa Bay. The staff and everybody there did a great job of putting people in great chances to succeed. And not every coach does that. And every organization puts players in the best chance they can do and to succeed. And when you feel comfortable when you're pitching and where you're at, like that's when you're going to put up your good numbers. And then that's how all of a sudden teams play well together because everybody is doing their role. They know their role. Like role is explained when I was there. They were explained very well. Like this is who you are, or who you are to us. And we like you in this situation. And guess what? You're going to do this situation. You don't do it. You failed today. Guess what? It's still your situation tomorrow. And that really gave everybody a sense of, okay, cool. I don't have to be perfect. And it's continued. I mean, there's still a lot of the same guys running that organization. Once Friedman left, there's just a bunch of guys, and it's kind of in that stock market type of thing. A lot of Wall Street guys, but man, they just I think they really like flying under the radar. They don't want to be that big market club and get all this attention. They just want to keep winning like they do.
Yeah, and you look at the A's and you look at the Rays, two small market clubs that have had really good seasons. Happened to the A's last year too, and the potential to, again, you play 162 games, and I know you got to work it into the postseason, Lance, but I'm still not a fan of a one-game playoff. I mean, to play 162 games, you have minimum 3-game series during the regular season, and then all of a sudden these teams get to the postseason, and one of them's going to play one game and be done. I don't like it. I've never been a fan of it. I'm a fan of getting more teams in, but to just play one game and then you win, you move on, but if you lose, you're done. That just seems so abrupt and unfair to me.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because think about that. Like the situation we talked about earlier. Say a team like Cleveland wins 94 games and is left at the table. And then all of a sudden, and then the other team that won 95 gets to go, and they lose one game and they're out. You're like, we just won 95 games, had an unbelievable season, and we got to go home. But you got to look on what's the biggest gripe on Major League Baseball season is how long it is. And so if you had to play a 3-game series to start the playoffs with the wild card to decide who's that next team to get in, that pushes everybody back. So then you got what, quote unquote, the team with the best record, though they're having to sit. I mean, they're going to have a full week off. And so that becomes, hey, we were playing good baseball, but you made us take a full week off. So I think that's where you're going to see the Players Association obviously getting more teams in is always good because it becomes more money, more revenue, players are happy, so are owners. But when it comes down to that, like, hey, teams don't want to sit for a full week to 10 days before they play a playoff game. They want to get right into it because they're ready for it. So I think that's the fight you're always going to have, extending that wild card to more than one game.
On the flip side of this, you got the Orioles with 47 wins. They're 47.5 games back. The Tigers have 43. They're 45 games back. The Marlins, 51. They're 39 games back in the National League of the Braves. Worst team in baseball, in your opinion, who is it?
I think it'd have to be I think you have to go the Tigers, and that's a tough thing, man. The Orioles are bad.
Yeah, I'd still take the Orioles, even though they got more wins. I'd still take the Orioles over the Tigers. But
you got to think the Orioles are playing in the AL East, man, much tougher division.
True. Yeah.
But man, like, you want to know how, like, that is such a tough. My rookie year, we went 51 and 111. Both these teams might break that. I would say Detroit has no shot to win 8 more ball games out of 15. So that looks pretty safe to them. They'd have to win, actually, 8 more games. Man, like, it was miserable to go to the park. Like, we were rookies, so, hey, we was a bunch of AAA guys, for the most part, been called up. But you saw those veterans, like, it was like, man, like, we have to do this. I mean, to watch we basically every 5 days we had one chance to win. It was when Big Unit would pitch. Randy Johnson, he'd go out there, and we'd either win 2-0 or 2-1 or lose 1-0, 2-1, because he never gave up more than 2 runs anyway. But it was just a matter of the offense could score. But it's a miserable feeling going to the park. Yes, you're in the big leagues and you get to experience that, but man, you want to win. And so to have to go through that, I don't wish that on anybody. That's a tough year, man. 8 months of just dragging like that every single day. It's hard to put in work when you know that it's just going to be doom and gloom all year. Yeah, nobody enjoys losing. I tell you this, if you feel like you're losing the fitness battle, if you're not happy with where you're at, you get up and you walk up the stairs and you're breathing heavy, it doesn't have to stay that way. You can do something about it. And Lance, I know CrossFit Candor can help. You can show them the way. You can help teach them. You can get them going. They'll see progress, and as they see progress, they'll start to work toward results. And it just feeds
upon itself. And I know you're ready to go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at CrossFit Candor. You can get people started even if they don't think that they're capable. Everybody's capable.
Gary, what a segue. I love it. The losing. But, yes, you can be a winner here. You can come and win with us. But you're right, Gary. I just got done right before this with a one-on-one on-ramp, basically teaching this guy everything that we do in here. And that all started. He went on the website, CrossFitCandor.com. He said, hey, there's a free trial. Come and try a class. That's what he did. It sends us an alert saying, hey, I'd like to try a free class. He came and tried a class. After the class, he's like, dude, I'm in. I loved it. I just want to start. What do I need to do to start? Then I set up a personal one-on-one on-ramp with him. We go through those things. It takes about 4 to 5 of those. And sure enough, he just graduated today. He gets to be a member. But all it started was he reached out, and that's the hardest thing to do. You got to make that first step, reach out to us. And once that happens, man, we'll take it from there. He went to the website, and at the top it says, hey, free trial class. We usually let you try two classes. Come and try it out. You like it, we'll get you going.
Indeed. Do get by. See Lance and his coaches. At least give him a call and get some more information at 205-329-3683. CrossFit Candor in Tuscaloosa. This place will change your life if you let it. Thanks, Lance.
Thanks, Gary. Hope the rest of the day goes better than the early part.
It will. Appreciate it.